Good
There
evening.
you go.
This is the Nickie V. Smith Show. How you doing today? It's a beautiful day outside here in sunny California. It is a little bit cold, and but it's still beautiful. Any day above ground is a beautiful day. I want to say hello to you guys, and I want you to know that we are constantly thinking of you, and we are always praying for your success story to weigh out so that your good is way better than your bad days. I have with me my cousin Risa Wheat. Hey, Reese.
Hi, Nikki. How are you?
Hey, cousin, I'm doing fantastic. It's so good to
Good.
see
Good.
you.
You too. You too.
I can't hardly miss, I miss these shows when you're not around because I get to see your smiling face and I just love seeing it, you know?
I feel like it's been a while since like I was missing it too. I was like, well, wait, when's the last time I've been on? So I'm glad to be on with you today too. I
And
missed
welcome
you.
back. It has been a minute because we had a guest on last week. We had Dr. Emma Kelly Rhodes. And then before that, that was week before last. Last week
Uh-huh.
we did Happy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we did
Yeah.
the song by Pharrell Williams, Happy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I want to pick up from that song today. Uh, what made me play that song and have that as our show for last week? I did have a couple of people to respond and said they didn't get it. They didn't understand why did I have that song as my show. And I said, well, here's the reason why. So to the viewers, to my sex survivors of rape, sex trafficking, domestic violence, to or any other kind of tragedy that comes in your life. You have not only to survive, you heard me say before, Reese, that survival is just not good enough anymore. You see, to
Yeah.
me, survival, and I've said that before, and I've used the same demo, which I'm fixing to use again.
Mm-hmm.
That only says, I made it through it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you did make it through it. But where do you go from there? See, I've talked to the audience and I've talked to you about different things that happen to people, such as triggers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting to my point of why did I use that song, but I have to tell you a short story. I experienced a trigger, not one, but two. I mean, back to back last week, or well, in these 2 months in October. Let's just say October, which it has been
Okay.
because we're just a few days into November. Um, I saw a picture, you guys, audience, where a man's son was kidnapped from him, taken from him when he was 3 years old. This man never stopped looking for his son, but his son never turned up. After all these years, 30 something years, this man thought his kid was dead. This man is a judge. He found out. Now, this is a TV show that spiraled me.
Okay.
That's how my trigger started. Uh, this man came into, it was a guy that was in his court. And this young man was a ruthless person. He had did some foul things to people. And as this judge was listening and listening to this young man quoted a poem to him, a poem that he used to read to his child before his child was taken at 3 years old. Now, the culprit that took this kid beat him almost every day of his life, raped him repeatedly, and just did all kind of inhumane things to him, kept him mostly in a basement in a dog cage.
Mm.
Yeah. And when this kid finally came out of this dog cage and got a chance to leave, he didn't because he was so conditioned to stay there. But to fast forward, in this courtroom, after this judge heard this poem, he went in to the jail cell itself and started questioning and talking to this young man. And he asked this young man, he said, "Can you tell me what made you quote that quote?" He says, "It's something I remember when I was younger, and it was being read to me. I, I believe," this is what he said, "I believe by my father. But the man that raised me, I can't see that being my father saying something like this, that positive, because this man beat me every day. This man kept me in a basement. This man raped me repeatedly, beat me repeatedly, pimped me out to his friends." And as they talked, the judge said, "Close your eyes. Hear the voice that used to read that poem to you."
Mm.
And when a man opened his eyes, he realized that voice was sitting right in front of him. That was his real father. His father and he were so shocked to find each other. But as a judge, he had to talk to the DA and call the DA and the attorney into his chambers. And he says, "I've seen a lot of cases, but I need you to take a DNA, and I need to know if this is my son
Mm.
that we have said we thought had passed on some 30 something years." I believe he said 32 years. And so that would make the man 35.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, when they took the test, it is his son.
Yeah.
So, yeah, yeah. So the man said to him, to the DA and to the young man's attorney in private in his chambers, he said, I would like to think, and I know for a fact, not that I'm thinking, I know for a fact, if me and my wife had a chance to raise this boy, he would have turned out a much better person. And as a judge, I can't excuse what he's done, but he actually really needs help. But as a judge, he was really trying to do what was best. So he was asking the courts, please, let's put him in a mental institution, not in a mental institution. Let's put him in a therapy institution where we can get him some help. Let's give him a chance. So now that brings us back to my opening. That story triggered me. And I was very, I don't know, Reese, I don't know how to describe it. Audience, I don't know how to describe it because I wasn't angry. But I needed justice. I felt I needed justice
Mm-hmm.
for what has been done to me. And I just started wanting my father to be at least arrested. I wanted him to be acknowledged as a pedophile. So I called Arkansas to find out what steps would I need to take to have him arrested, at least on record. Now, I know the man's 92 years old, but I'm so sick of people getting away with things that it's just unjust. Risa, you look at Bill Cosby. Look at all that harm these people have caused. And people want to act like, oh, he's Bill Cosby. So what? That's the way I feel about my daddy. I'm gonna call my dad's name out today because I've never done this, and I got to get me. I want total truth today, y'all. I want total truth. This is gonna give me closure, and that's what you got to do to figure it out. But let me finish this, and then I'll call his name because I want his name out because I can't get anything else. So I have made up my mind that I have to be happy with where I am. I cannot get justice like that man was trying to get. What's done is done. When I called Arkansas to file charges, they told me my statute of limitation had run out. That the statute of limitation for rape is only 6 years in the state of Arkansas. Now, they vary according to states. Like in Massachusetts, it's 15 years. But as a child being raped at 12 years old, my time ran out by the time I just turned, depending on the date and time, by the time I was just turning 18. So I didn't know what my laws would be because what? I kept trying to get help and nobody would help me. So, having said that, it really bothered me, Risa. I have to be honest with you. It really bothered me. And it started to take its toll on me in last month. I was like, wow, it doesn't matter what I do, Reese. I'm not getting no justice at all for this service, for what he's done to me. And then you think about it, Reese. You and I were talking about it. Even if I did get any type of resolution, guess what? I would have been seen as a bully. I would have been the villain again because he's 92 years old. And everybody would have looked at me and said, oh, Nickie, you should have been over this. Or Nickie, he's 92. They wasn't the one being raped. They're not the one who has to struggle to stay on point.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your thoughts on
I think, you know, that I think you have to triumph over the things that you are accomplishing and what you are doing. And you've done what you can to um, make him be accountable. You have uh, you have confronted him. You have exposed him. I mean, you wrote your book. You sent him a copy. You told you've made it known to friends and family all over Little Rock, Arkansas. You've done what you can, Nickie, and you are moving forward to help other people. And I think um, I'm with you. I wish he could somehow pay for his crimes, but it sounds like he's not gonna. He's not. He's gonna probably die before he gets arrested. So you have to go ahead and move on and just continue with what shining the light on people like him, um, and helping yourself and helping others. Um, and I think that's gonna have to be I think that's gonna have to be it. And I think God is gonna have
that?
to be the ultimate punisher. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. And you know what? Thank you for your honesty because tonight we didn't pre-plan this show, guys. Audience, we didn't pre-plan it. I told her what I wanted to do. And so we're just talking. We're just going straight talk with you. Because that gives us makes us vulnerable, makes us keeping it real with you. We're not scripted at all tonight. But the one thing that I She is right. God has the he is in control. And it's nothing I can do. I've done what I can do.
You have.
And yeah, I have, Reese. You're right. And but one thing I have discovered in this process is that um I have never called my father out by his name. And the reason I haven't done that is because I'm still in that protective mode to a degree. In my heart, in my mind, I'm still in that protective mode to a degree.
Mhm.
And when you're in a protective mode like that, you really are not truly giving yourself an opportunity to heal fully. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Yeah. Yeah, because you're thinking about other people
Yeah.
and
And if I've gone this far, I may as well go all the way and get myself some closure. So my culprit, my dad's name is Thomas Wendell Smith. He's a deacon at Bullock Temple Church in Little Rock, Arkansas. So, Daddy, I want to say thank you to you. You've done some horrible things, but I'm still standing and I still can smile. And I take this victory any way I can get it. And I'm helping somebody else. See, so this weapon that you formed trying to hurt other people, I'm going to use it as a blessing.
mhm.
Yes, I'm going to use it as a blessing to help others. And we growing, Reese. We almost at 2,000 people. That's a lot of followers. And so I'm going to say thank you, Father. And I don't know what to wish you. I'm not going to say I wish you well. I'm just going to have me some closure.
Mhm.
I think that's the best medicine, Risa, audience, that I can give myself. So that's bringing me all the way back to that song. This is a long opening. I'm going to get there eventually, y'all. uh, Also, in last month, I just, whoo, sometimes in business, you think things are going to go one way. You have a vision, you think everything's going to go okay, and it just doesn't. Things change.
Mhm.
And now you're stuck with a responsibility. You know what? Before I get to that point, let me say something to you, Reese.
Okay.
Dr. Emma Kelly Rose, I call her Mother Rose.
Uh-huh.
She said that in the show when she was on it. She said,
Mhm.
we as people, Reese, we have a responsibility for how we treat others.
I agree with that.
Mhm. We have a responsibility how we treat them, not how they treat us. Now, that's what she said. See,
Mhm.
we can't control how they treat us. You see?
Right.
But what we can control is how we treat them. That's growth. That is growth in its highest form. You know? Wow. And I didn't get how powerful that was until these two events happened, you know. And it's like, I give myself permission to be happy. I give myself permission to make it through no matter what. You see, what you think, Reese?
I like it, and I want to
Good.
know
Good.
what are you gonna do? to make
I,
yourself happy? What are you gonna do to make
I'm
yourself
singing
happy?
that song by Pharrell Williams, baby. That's why I open up with it. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof.
I love
That's
that song.
what
I
I'm happy
think it's,
to do.
you
Clap
know,
along.
I just think it's wonderful. It just puts you, excuse me, it just puts you in such a good mood.
It does.
Listening to it, to me, I think it's great. So, be
Absolutely.
happy.
Yes. I refuse to give up my power to any more of daddy's shenanigans. I just can't do it.
Yeah.
Now, if I was in Arkansas, I would petition that law, because if a baby's being raped, now that's why they're getting younger and younger, because they can't defend themselves, and not only can they not, their statute of limitations gonna run out in 6 years. So I would defend that law. I would go to bat with the politicians to have that law changed. But even when you go and think that you're going to be in business with someone and things don't work out, then you still have to make a decision. How am I going to respond? I choose to be happy. I choose to not give up my power to nobody but me and to God. And so clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Come on, please. Clap along
I'm
if
gonna let
you
you sing it
happy
because I
with
forget the
me.
words. I forget the.
Thank you, Pharrell Williams, for the song Happy. Honey, boom. I just don't feel like letting nobody take my joy.
You
See,
can't.
my
You
power.
can't.
That's my power. That's
Yeah.
mine. And you
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
take it from me. So I love that. That's why I opened up with last week's show with Happy. That was a long round in the country, we say. That's around the mulberry bush, honey. I went all around that mulberry bush with that answer to get to this. But that's the answer. Yeah, that's the answer. That's why I did it. So those of you that didn't understand the purpose of the song, that's the purpose of the song. I choose to be happy. I'll just move forward. I'll move forward. And that makes me feel um where I can say, thank you, Father, Reese. And it's so easy to have a smiling face when everything is going your way.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you find that to be true?
Yeah, it's much easier to smile when you actually are happy, as
Right,
opposed to smiling and putting on a false smile when you're not happy. So,
right, right. So therefore, that leaves you with a decision to make. What am I going to do? How am I going to respond? That's up to you. That's your power, audience. That's your power, because I've already told you in the book, and I'm saying it again. Triggers are out there. You may not even be thinking about a trigger, and it'll come and just throw you off your game. And then things change so drastically. So you have to decide, what am I going to do? How am I going to respond? And again, you could sit around and be mad. You can sit around and be sad. You can cry, you can rant, you can rave. I could be mad that the system wouldn't let me file charges on daddy. I choose not to. I could be mad that the business I thought was going to work one way didn't come out that way, but I choose not to. I can't give up my power like that. That means that means I need to start replanning, rethinking, and that's okay too. That's okay. So I feel good, Reed. I feel good. And I'm thankful to feel good. I am. So
I
I
think
have
everybody should find a song or something like that to motivate you and make you feel happy. Either that song or another song or something else
Hmm. Hmm.
that makes you happy, or do something that makes you happy.
Absolutely, absolutely. I relate a lot of things to music because I love all music. It doesn't matter about the genre. I hope I'm saying that right, genre of the music, genre or whatever. Um,
Genre.
genre, okay, of the music because I like all music. I just don't like the music with a lot of cursing. I don't get
Yeah.
off on that.
Mhm.
But I can use from country, western to bluegrass. I just love music and I can adapt and adjust. And so normally when I'm feeling a certain way, I can adapt, I can find some music that supports how I'm feeling. You
Mhm.
see? You
Mhm.
see?
Mhm.
Do you have any questions or anything you might want to say? Because I done monopolized the whole show. I've give you one or two little answers, and just I've just run away with it.
No, I'm here to support where you're going. I think that if people have triggers or something that sets if we have something that sets us back or triggers us or whatever, I think we need to find something to pull us out of it before we spiral on down that rabbit hole. Maybe call
Right,
up a supportive friend, or and talk it out. Uh,
right,
and then find something to do that makes you happy. If
right.
it's music, if it's painting, if it's writing poetry or walk along the beach, start finding things that make you happy, you
That's
know?
right.
Uh-huh.
That's right. Don't badmouth people. I don't feel like all that. That's a lot of energy.
Hmm.
That takes the energy from the positive to the negative.
Hmm.
And you have that choice. Which one do you want to be? Now, me, I don't talk about people much to other folks because some of that is so private. And I'm a
Hmm.
very private person. I've been that my whole life. And so there's no change in that for me. But to talk about a person and badmouth them because things didn't work out, that's just not my style.
Hmm.
Now with my father's a predator, excuse me, and
Hmm.
he needs to be brought out,
Hmm. Hmm.
name basis, the whole 9 yards. But I'm very grateful even on that part, audience, because it feels like a victory for me. I got the victory
Hmm.
because I didn't let it break me. See, you guys got to understand survival is for the moment. You'll survive it.
Hmm.
But where do you want to go from there? Why not learn? Learn to thrust, thrust yourself forward. Thrust yourself into happiness.
Hmm.
Yeah. By the way, that's the name of a new class we got coming up. 101 class. You'll see it. We'll advertise it. I'm a little ahead of the show, Risa, but we got that new show coming on. It's a one-on-one. I mean, no, I'm sorry. We offer one-on-ones, but this is going to be a group of anybody that's wanting to join and be there with us. The classes are offered in one-on-ones. They're offered in groups. We'll get that information to you as fast as possible. I jumped way ahead, but it's in the making. And that's the name of it. Why just survive? Why not thrust yourself into happiness? You have that power. Now, again, you also have the power to sit around and be a sheep. You can whine, bah, whoa, it's me. Whoa, it's me. That's a lot of energy. Reese and I laughed about everything. We laughed about everything. And so that makes it beautiful for us, because we can make anything happy and healthy and whole, with an opportunity to think about it. Now, not just right off the bat, because um, it really was getting to me that these two things occurred right back to back to back. It's like, whoa, now. So I had to make a decision. And here it is. My decision is I decided to be happy, regardless of the circumstances. So I'm a happy camper. Hello.
That's awesome. I mean, uh, that's beautiful. You know,
Thank you.
you chose happiness and laughter. Laughter is the best medicine,
Certainly is.
you know,
Yes, it is.
and your father is just doing what he does, but he didn't beat you, Nickie.
No,
He's not, you are the winner. You are victorious.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I received that. I receive it wholeheartedly, because if I'd gone down that road that I wanted to go, see, that was that old Nickie trying to come back. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That was that street Nickie that
Mm-hmm.
that wanted to come back.
Mm-hmm.
See, that street Nickie, if I was in Arkansas, I'm glad I'm out of Arkansas.
Yeah, and we'll leave it at that.
And we'll leave it at that, because I'm not going to speak that into existence. You're right.
Right, right.
We're going to leave. Thank you. Thank you, baby. That's right. We're going to leave it at that, baby.
Leave
I'm
it
so
at that.
glad to have that girl with me, because, baby, you can't, I don't want to speak it into existence at all. But I like this new Nickie. Man, I do. I do. When I was younger, I don't know if, well, I know I must not have been ready for this new Nickie. You know, uh, Reese, I
Mm-hmm.
must not have been ready for her. You know, God has timing, seasons for everything,
Yeah.
seasons for everything. And maturity comes with certain seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Some folks are slower than others, because I often wonder why I'm not wealthy. I used to invent products. I used to invent things, but I think it's just that I really wasn't mature enough, you know, to have made those decisions at that time, because I had to grow through the hurt. And I didn't have any guidance, period. But that just shows you can do what you decide to do. And I'm going to steal this from The Great Debaters, the movie. I love that movie.
It's a good movie.
Yeah. And it says you do what you have to do in order to do what you want to do. That does not mean that you got to jump and hoop and holler for people because of any reason, their status or anything. If you guys can't come to an agreement where things are beneficial for both parties, then somewhere along the line, draw some standards that said, hey, this is enough. Let's move forward. That's the way I look at life. That's the way I look at daddy. That's the way I look at this business that didn't take place. I have to grow and keep this new Nickie evolving and reviving and helping others. And the wealth will come. I just still believe it, you know. But I do believe, Reese, that I have a certain wealth anyways. Maybe it's not the money yet,
Mm-hmm.
but it is in spirituality, because I
Mm-hmm.
have a lot of people, and I've been doing it for 44 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And but again, I didn't believe in talking about it, because I didn't think that was the road I needed to take. I thought that I needed it to be between me and that person as to
Mm-hmm.
what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way I chose to go.
Mm-hmm.
Had I become a motivational speaker at that time, I was speaking in different organizations privately, you know, churches, different women organizations and things. But I didn't record it. I didn't do those things because it wasn't my mindset at that time.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Now my growth dictates my mindset. Does that make sense?
It does. It absolutely does. I mean, look at you. You've written 2 books. You've got a show going. Nickie, this show has been going on what since this show has been going on?
Almost a year.
Yeah.
Almost a year. And
So
we almost had 2,000 people.
right. Look at what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you're coming up with ways to motivate and inspire
Yeah.
people.
And we got the advocacy because of the book. So we moving.
See, I mean, so things are happening. They may not be
Yeah.
happening as fast as you think they might, but they are happening.
Yes. Yes.
And so you you just look at what you're accomplishing. He didn't beat you down,
Nah.
he just
Nah.
all it what is the saying? All that doesn't kill you makes you stronger. You're
Yeah.
stronger, Nickie. You're stronger, you know,
Thank you.
and you have won.
Thank you. I received that wholeheartedly. Thank you so much. It keeps me centered, you know.
Yeah.
And let me share this with you. I got a third book coming out, baby.
See?
It's with my grandson. I'm giving it to him for Christmas
Uh-huh.
because Reese, he wanted to read grandma's books.
Oh no,
And
not
my
yet.
books are too R-rated for
Yeah,
a
yeah, a
kid.
little bit
Yeah,
now. Yeah, a
yeah,
little bit too much now. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Sergeant Benjamin Premier's is based on some truth. It was inspired by some truth. And if you put it on a scale of 100, you're looking at about inspiration about 80%. That's a lot. That's a big number. That's a
Hmm.
big number. And then you look
Hmm.
at uh um what is I can't think of what
And I've
spelling
said, you
for
see how rusty I am. I
I
don't
got it.
have.
I've been looking over my computer. Self-healing for sexual abuse survivors. That's way too deep for him right now. So he said, Grandma, I want to read your book. And I said, No, honey. Grandma's books is way too heavy for you.
Right
It's
now.
for grown
Yeah,
people.
yeah,
Yeah, I said it's for grown people. When you get old enough and you
yeah,
learn to read it, then that has to be your choice, and you can do it then when you're grown.
yeah, yeah.
But and he looked so sad, Reese. He looked like I had really just taken his last cookie out of the cookie jar.
Oh.
I took his last cookie out of the cookie jar. So I said, honey, I said, I tell you what, sweet baby. You know, I call people sweet names. That's just me. It just seems to work for me when I'm happy. I call you a sweet baby. Hey, sweetie, how you doing? And I try not to get overboard with it, but I do it with you. So I
I
can't.
know. I know.
That's just me. I mean, the more I love you, the more I care about you, the more I'm gonna call you sweet stuff. That's just me. But anyway, but I gotta get to know you for that. But anyway, I said, no, sweet baby. I tell you what, why don't we write a book together? And then grandma will have that for you. So we have finished it. He calls it The Life of Me and My Grandma.
Oh, that's great.
Isn't that something?
Mm-hmm.
And he's 9 years old. So I'm getting it printed for him. It's going to be like a novelty gift. It's not going to be for sale. Um, his
Okay.
mom, his mom really wants his identity to be protected, as I understand that, girl.
Sure. Yes. Yes.
These
Yes.
days and time, you better protect your children. You better protect
Mm-hmm.
your young. So
Mm-hmm.
there'll be some of the pictures that won't go in, but I did get her permission, and I have my son's permission, and I let him just write it his way.
Mm-hmm.
And I just went in like a ghostwriter and just filled in some of the blanks, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
then I gave it to him and told him, read this. This is called editing. You tell me what you like and what you don't like. And
Uh-huh.
then, so we're getting ready to go to print. Actually, it's ready. And it's about 14 pages long. So here I have something to brag with his friends with, you know. He'll
A
be in
published, he's a published author
the
at
published
9.
author, baby, in the third grade. so so that'll be cool. That'll be cool.
Yeah,
And I'm
that's
gonna
nice.
give it to him for Christmas, this
That's
Christmas.
nice.
Yeah. So that is where we are, folks. You have a choice whether you what kind of reaction you want to have to any situation. Your choice is you can lay down and be a sheep and be mad, sit at the bottom of the stairs with all the other losers and whine, or you can be a king or a queen, and you can raise your neck up. You can have your shoulders back. You have your chest out, and you say, "I choose how I will react. You will not take my power." And for that, that's our show today. I want you to understand. I want you to continue to live strong with courage, confidence, and faith. And to my beautiful cousin, I just love you so much. You're always
Love
there
you
to
too.
support me. And even when we have disagreements, I love that. I love that because you're not a yes ma'am girl. I don't want a yes ma'am girl. I need a person that thinks. I need a person that gives me honest assessment. And you bring that to the table, baby. And with that, I say thank you with all my heart. I love you, Reese. I love you,
Love you
Audie.
too, Nikki.
Yeah. Good night, everybody. We'll see you
Good
next
night,
week.
everybody.
Bye-bye. Here's your kiss.
Bye.
Mwah. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.